Welcome to our training about the methods of welding, cutting, brazing, and other hot work for construction. True or false? The dangers of welding. To weld, cut, and braze safely, you must recall dangers and safe practices when working with oxyacetylene torches. Know how to work with welding gas cylinders safely. Recall the hazards of arc welding and safe practices to use, and know what basic personal protective equipment to wear for hot work. You may need to use an oxyacetylene torch to weld metal pipes and tubes or to repair metal. This equipment is more portable than other types of welding devices, but does pose some risks. Select each gas that is present in oxyacetylene for more information about what it is and the associated hazards. What pressure should you never set the pressure of an acetylene cylinder above? During each shift in which you'll use an oxyacetylene torch, perform a visual inspection of the torch. Note that some welding gas cylinder valves require tools, which you should keep nearby. Before opening the valve, blow out the welding gas cylinder valve before you connect it to the regulator. You can do this by opening the valve slightly and then closing it to expel any dust or debris. Check for leaks after connecting new hoses, torches, or regulators. Stand to one side of the regulator and open the welding gas cylinder valves very slowly to keep sudden high pressures from damaging the regulator. Standing to the side keeps you from being in the path of flying debris should the regulator fail during pressurization. Keep any adjustment tools nearby so you can quickly close valves in an emergency. Purge your oxygen and acetylene passages individually before lighting an oxyacetylene torch. Slowly add gas to the lines with the torch cracked open to purge the previous contents prior to lighting the torch. Open the oxygen valve for 10 to 15 seconds to purge the line. Close the valve and then repeat the process for the acetylene tank. Keep the tip pointed away from your body. Continue to keep the nozzle pointed away from your body. Light the flame with a long-handled flint striker. Do not use matches or personal lighters to light the torch because these will bring your fingers too close to the nozzle. Open and light the acetylene first, then open and adjust the oxygen to a neutral flame. When opening the valve on the oxygen cylinder, open it fully. Oxygen cylinders must have the valve all the way open because of the high pressure in the cylinder. Which welding gas should you release first when lighting an oxyacetylene torch? When you are finished, follow the manufacturer's instructions to shut down the equipment. In most cases, close the oxygen torch valve first, then close the acetylene torch valve, and then close the gas cylinder valves. Select the link to download steps for safely shutting down your equipment. Secure welding gas cylinders to prevent tipping. When moving large cylinders, strap them to a properly designed wheeled cart to ensure their stability. A cylinder containing compressed gas can shoot through the air like a rocket if its valve is damaged or broken. When regulators are not on cylinders, keep safety caps in place. Caps will prevent damage to cylinder valves. Remove regulators and replace protective caps before transporting cylinders. True or false? You may safely store empty oxygen cylinders with flammable gas cylinders. Arc welding is a common type of welding that primarily uses electricity as the energy source. Arc welding creates an electrical arc hot enough to melt metal, so you can imagine the danger to the human body. If properly installed and used, arc welding is very safe. However, it poses several hazards, including burns, fires, and electrical shock. True or false? Electrical shock can cause death. Consider this true story. A 43-year-old welder died when his suspended work platform fell 19 stories from the side of a new building. The victim had been arc welding on a new high-rise building in a metal cage suspended by a steel cable. The victim had an electrical welding lead coming to his work area from above. This high amperage welding cable was in poor condition and had been repaired with electrical tape several times. Due to high winds, the welding cable came into direct contact with the steel cable supporting the work platform. The insulation of the welding cable failed at this point, and, in a shower of sparks, the welding lead arced to the support cable and melted it in two, sending the cage immediately to the ground. This fatal accident could have been prevented if the worker had replaced the cable that was in poor condition. In addition to using cables that are in good condition and using well-insulated electrode holders when arc welding, it is important to use cables that are dry and free of grease and oil. Keep the ends of welding cables apart. Wear dry, hole-free gloves and clothing. Never touch the electrode or metal parts of the electrode holder with skin or wet clothing. Dry any insulation between your body and the metal you're welding or the ground, such as a metal floor or wet surface. Remember that stick electrodes are always electrified, even when you're not welding. Proper body positioning reduces exposure to fumes, sparks, and slag. Pay attention to where fumes are blowing and where sparks and slag are falling. Position yourself to avoid these hazards. Protect your body from welding spatter and arc flash with protective clothing made of wool, denim, canvas, or heavy cotton. Do not wear clothing made of synthetic fibers such as polyester because they may melt and severely burn your skin. Wear clothing that is properly fitted and not frayed or worn. Cuffs or open pockets can catch flying sparks and start a fire, so keep cuffs and collars buttoned to cover exposed skin. Wear clothing that is free of grease and solvents. Wear a long-sleeve shirt, welding jacket, or coveralls with the cuffs and collar buttoned. When performing hot work, wear the appropriate personal protective equipment to protect your skin and eyes from splatter, sparks, and radiation. Proper equipment includes a welding helmet or welding goggles. Insulated welding gloves and fire-resistant sleeves can help protect your hands and arms. You may also wear a fire-resistant or leather cape or shoulder covers for overhead work. Wear leather shoes. A respirator and earplugs or ear muffs are also recommended for some operations. Make sure welding helmets or goggles have the appropriate filter lens for the job you are performing. Certain operations, such as carbon arc welding and high current welding, require darker shades than other operations. Select the link to view a document that explains the appropriate shade levels for specific hot work exposures. Never use a helmet if the filter plate or cover lens is cracked or broken. True or false? Welding helmets or goggles are rated for all types of hot work.